Hello Sagittarius, this is your mid-April quick and general reading. I feel as though this reading is good for probably any placement of Sagittarius, not just the Sun, Rising Moon, Venus, or Mercury. I'm feeling a lot of the outer planets coming through as well. So this is good, I would say, for any placement of Sagittarius in your natal chart. I'm also kind of getting the sense that for a few of you, it might be a timeless message, or this is a message that you will see play out over the next 3 to 5 months, your guides are telling me, but I am reading for you here in mid-April. If you want to book a private reading with me, the link to my website's down in the description below. If you're new, welcome to Soma Chandra Libra. Please don't let the name fool you. This channel is exclusively dedicated to Libra and Sagittarius. I get a lot of downloads for those two signs, an unusual amount of downloads for you guys. I'm not sure why. It doesn't matter why. I just deliver the messages. So thanks for being here with me today, Sagittarius. Subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for you again. Sag, it's been 5 days since I've read for you. This has vexed me. I have tried to get a message to come through for you for the last 48 hours, and I wouldn't say that I wasn't successful. I just didn't like what was coming out. I was hearing too many storylines being screamed at me all at once, and I was like, okay, Carrie Lee, you really need to get it together. So finally, after praying, I actually prayed, please let me get a good message for Sag. Your guides didn't come through, and they said, keep it simple right now, Soma Chandra. You don't need to dive too deep. Show them what they look like from now until the end of Aries season. And I was like, okay, thanks so much. So astrology activations. Sorry, I had to take a personal journey to get to you guys, apparently. God damn, but astrology activations for middle to end of April. 10th house, your authority. That's about career, prestige, your accomplishments in the outside world. I also have Libra, balance and contracts, and solar flares. Something is activating. Your first house is coming into focus, arrival of the beloved Venus here. It's all about you right now, Sagittarius. Think about the impression that you're giving people. I do think that there is going to be a strong focus on your 10th house and career and your brand, who you are, the way you're being seen, the way you represent yourself. Your immortal soul and your destiny are very much involved, and that will be playing out in the 10th house, what you have authority over, who you really are. And I definitely see some stuff activating for you in career. With solar flares, I got a positive feeling about it when the card first came out. But when it came out with Libra and balance, and then I saw some of the other oracle messages, some of you may have some sticky scenarios with work or anything to do with contracts and possibly a lower court of law. There are going to be some flare-ups here. There is going to be an activation. A contract may be signed. Some of you have gotten a new job, because I have the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool, or you will. Something is going to trust the way things play out right now, Sag, because the way things are right now is leading to a new beginning of some kind for you. You will have to be very fair and diplomatic. You guys often are. As a Libra, I often feel as though Sagittarius, you guys remind me a lot of Libra in that way. You're very philosophical, very matter of fact, and you seem particularly preoccupied with the truth. You can be very honest people. So you will need to embody some of the Libra traits, I think, and be very fair and honest, working through contracts. And it will, the way you handle yourself right now will leave a lasting impression on others, in particular in business. I'm also hearing something about a real estate contract. A lot of cards came out of this oracle deck that I used. Like the deck exploded and your guide said, no, all these messages do need to come out. What came out recent past into the present moment is hostilities, the Magician and the Mirror, the Angel of Strength, the Healer of Ages, the World, and then the Garden and the Gate, door to personal healing and happiness. I also have adjacent possibilities and the door to value. Okay. Some of you are going to go through a tough situation, and it's going to make you do a lot of life review, and you're going to stand here. She looks like she's at the garden gate, okay? She has a lot where she is right now, but she sees that little butterfly going somewhere, and she's thinking about following it. I think that some of you are really going to start to explore adjacent possibilities that will lead to more healing and personal happiness for you. and to more value in some way. But I found it very interesting that these two figures showed up. We have hostilities coming out, okay? Angel of Strength. Some of you are dealing with a Leo. Some of you have Leo in your chart. It doesn't matter if you have Leo in your chart or not. Leo is here for you. The lion is here for you. Have dignity, strength of character. Be compassionate. It's like a what would Jesus do kind of moment when the Angel of Strength comes out. It's like you do have to be strong and tame raw pride and, raw emotion and anger, and be very, I'm hearing, composed, and be strong and face hostilities. We have these two very different kinds of archetypes here, the Magician and the Mirror. So someone who can really work magic, an alchemist. And he's really got it together, but he's not quite the same as the healer. Which one will you be? Will you be the one saying, watch this hand while this hand does this? Or are you really here to bring healing to a situation? Some of you are dealing with a person who is really good at their game. The art of the game, the art of the deal. Now, Sagittarians are often very good at that. And the Magician archetype is not bad or wrong. But there's hostilities between these two archetypes. And I think you're tired of having to be the Magician and the Mirror. I'm sick of convincing people. I'm sick of having to play a game. I get that it's not show friends, it's show business. And in the 10th house, which is career, like the art of the game, the art of the deal. But I feel like the Healer of Ages is coming out saying, if you want to get into the first house, which is about being the real, authentic you, we cannot put our best foot forward unless it's our real foot, like it's really us. And you really care about your reputation and how people see you and how you see yourself and where you're going and who you are and what you're doing with your life. We've got to stop dealing with people that are just bullshit and bring hostility, and it's a constant game and it's a constant debate, and it's like this could be happening anywhere in your life. A friend, a romantic partner, a boss. Because the 10th house came out with solar flares, this could be very much about career and just who has authority over what in your life. I think you're tired of doing like negotiative and hostile stuff, and you'd really like to be strong and move more towards working with healing abilities here. For my light workers in particular, like some of you really want to do some different kind of spiritual work and light work. Some of you, there's been a lot of competition between yourself and someone else who is very powerful. They want to focus on where the hostility comes in. You're kind of past that and you're further along in a journey, and you want to focus more on where healing takes place and lead people in that way, lead yourself in that way. Something is ending for you with the World and the Garden and the Gate, and I have the Fool and the Tarot. Some of you are like, I'm literally done with this whole town. Like, I'm going to move. I'm going to relocate. I want to be somewhere else. I'm also hearing I'm just hearing like a hypothetical storyline where like a law enforcement officer that just has to deal with hostilities in a dangerous place with a high murder rate, lots of crime, like day in and day out. Like you're getting to the point where like you can't be that archetype anymore, and you really want to move towards getting out of those kinds of scenarios and more towards strength and healing. This is a transformation and some kind of an upgrade for you. Like that was the best example that they showed me. That time is over. You're meant to be moving more towards something new. If any of you do hostile contract negotiations, or you're in like a daily grind, day in, day out, where you and all your coworkers or your boss or whomever you deal with, it's like constantly bait and switch and having to fight with each other and manipulate each other and convince each other. It's like Spirit is coming in and trying to say, do you really want to live your relationships like that? Do you want to live your life like that? It doesn't have to be that way. That can end, but you have to negotiate some kind of a contract here with the Libra energy, or bring balance to something so that you can step into something new. You will arrive if you let that activate. I think you're meant to walk through the garden gate towards personal healing and happiness. And again, I think in Taurus season, here's Taurus appreciation. As we move out of Aries season, you guys, and into Taurus season, like Aries is all about like getting in touch with, you know, what you're really willing to fight for, pushing outside of a comfort zone, letting yourself get fired up about stuff, getting in touch with who you really are, creating new beginnings in your life, and really fighting for what you believe in. And then once we move into Taurus season, it's like, let's focus on what's working, what's not working. Let's be practical. Let's set up good, comfortable rituals that we feel good about that will lead to stability, relaxation, and abundance. And I think in Taurus season, you're going to start to think about how you bring money in and what you place value on. I'm also hearing that a few of you, like, you'd had your sights set on like a certain kind of job and a certain kind of lifestyle and a certain kind of home. And now you're starting to think about it a little differently. It's like, you know what? Is that who I really am? Is that what I really want? You may be undergoing quite a bit of transformation, done fighting for something and with someone and just wanting to heal that and move on. Your human design activations are gate 16 and gate 25, enthusiastic curiosity and an agent for the divine. Turning pain to power, turning pain into power here. With gate 25 coming out, some of you are really needing to dissolve your attachment to like meaningless activities and focus more on meaningful things and meaningful work within inside yourself and in the world around you. Some of you have had like an overactive ego brain, and you've either been insecure or focused on things that really weren't that important. For some of you, some of those things were actually even a little shallow. And it was a direct reflection of your own level of confidence. You're getting more back into a spiritual alignment. And your confidence will be restored when you actually focus on something with meaning and purpose and let go of things that aren't important. Any of you that have been participating in like a pseudo or fake spirituality, you may suddenly realize that like you've been maybe following readers on YouTube, or you've been following some kind of a spiritual ideology that you're like, this asks me to focus on the stupidest shit that's not at all practical or grounded. And I would like to have a more meaningful spiritual life. I see you moving away from feelings of unworthiness and cultivating a spiritual practice that serves not just you, but others as well. Some of you have been engaging in ego-driven actions that are really self-serving and disregarding the impact it had on other people, or maybe someone's been doing that with you. And if that's the case, it's forcing you to understand the true meaning of spirituality. It is not supposed to take us away from reality and rationalize our bullshit behavior. Spirituality is supposed to help you better deal with the everyday mundane aspects of life. Spirituality is supposed to be practical, and it is supposed to allow us to be authentic. Some of you are letting go of meaningless spiritual stuff that isn't serving you in any way, and you're getting back to the real you. Oh my. You will become a true agent for the divine. Yeah, I'm hearing that big time. I could go on and on about it, but they're like, move on. And your energetic interest is changing. Like, you're awakening to truth and light and joy and enthusiasm. And you're being reminded about why you're here and what you're here to do. I do see, as you come into alignment with things that are grounded and realistic and the true, genuine nature of spirituality, instead of mumbo jumbo woo spiritual bullshit that isn't important, no longer placing value on things that are actually not important. Your interest is changing. What you're interested in is feeling down to earth, but still connected to the ether. Very much so. You're gonna become more enthusiastic. I think you're also going to jump into some situations that you're not prepared for entirely, but that's okay. Don't listen to other people talk to you about limitations. That will only dampen your curiosity and dampen your enthusiasm. I think you're excited about getting in touch with new things, new interests, new hobbies, new spiritual path, new career path, new you. It's like everything is changing for you. And as you do that, you're really turning pain into power. I think you're done. Like you're just trying to release burdens and negative feelings at this point. Like you might have stood there for a long time, Sagittarius, and been like, no, I'm going to put on a trick and pony show and like a dog and pony show. And I'm going to convince everyone and I'm going to get everyone to see my point of view. And I'm going to stand here and fight with my oppressors. And I think at some point, mid to end of April, you're going to be like, you know what? Fuck these people. I'm not going to stand here and fight with them anymore. That's not taking me to healing. I'm no longer up for an endless hostile debate. I know that the way to healing is to shift my energetic interest. This is actually shallow and boring to me. Congratulations, you're a magician. That's great. I actually do real healing work. I'm not a trickster. I don't do a magic show. I actually heal, and I'm ready to start that journey. Wow. Wow. Turning into real healers will turn your pain into power. This will get you back in touch with your own authority. It will lead to prestige. It will lead to prestige and career. I can see that. We didn't get a second house activation yet because it's not about the money yet. Let's see what Taurus season brings in. Very simple spread. They didn't want me to do a lot because they said, push out the environment. It's all about Sagittarius. The way you're seeing yourself right now, Sag, is Six of Cups to the Hierophant, Taurus energy. The Hierophant is often about being part of something greater than ourselves. It is a card of marriage. It is a card of commitment. It is also a card of fellowship and community, spiritual beliefs, ancestral lineage. Wise is the Hierophant sometimes, but it also can be very much in a box. A box of memories, I just heard with the Six of Cups and the Hierophant. Some of you are thinking quite a bit about your family, your ancestors, your lineage, your heritage, the way you grew up, the practices that you have had adhered to, the relationships that you have placed importance on. You will be very nostalgic right now. Some of you do see yourselves as feeling like you've become elite in your field. You are going to think a lot about the past right now. I feel as though you will have a lot of bittersweet, but mostly fond memories. I do see that you will be moving into Taurus season in a few weeks, feeling very grounded and very stable, committed in some way. But I can also see in your feelings, like some of you, the bittersweetness is here and you've had to radically accept some things and just let them go. I'm hearing that some of you are really starting to see where you have been conditioned in your life. We're all conditioned in some way. Like the way you were taught to believe certain things, the rules that you played by. Having a lot of memories. I also hear that some of you are going to have downloads that come through from past ancestors, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, deceased loved ones. They will come through. They're just letting you know that they're with you. I also think some of you might be thinking about like a past employer in particular, a past path that you once followed. Okay, they told me to move on. The way you're feeling right now is the Hangman and Temperance. Lots of major arcana here for you guys. I feel as though you're letting quite a bit go and you're saying, I'm just all about peace. Like I'm all about peace and calm right now. I'm all about being patient and specifically determining the purpose of what I do before I move forward. I think you guys are a bit of an island right now. I'm not hearing so much a calm before the storm, but like you're like the eye of the hurricane right now, where you're just trying to let so much go. You're going to make some sacrifices. My life is what it is, and I actually have a lot to be happy about. I can take a lot of memories with me, but I can't go back into the past. Resolved to let a lot of stuff go. Because your action right now is the Three of Wands to the Ace of Pentacles. And I was like, ooh, that's a new seed. It's like it's time to plant it. Like it really is. That seed that you've been thinking about planting, it's starting to like sprout roots. It really wants to grow. So it does need to be put in the ground and watered so that it can sprout and grow. This looks like standing on the shoreline, really examining the full growth potential of a new opportunity. Could be career, could be something more significant than, or like relationship. It's not necessarily more significant, but this is a new start that could actually really go somewhere. The seed we plant that manifests into abundance. I'm like, tell me a little bit more about that Ace of Pentacles. I know you guys like the wand, but with the presence of the Hierophant and Taurus and like radically accepting something, bringing memories and nothing more with you, focusing on a new beginning, all major arcana again, Death, Scorpio, Justice, Libra, and the Chariot, forward motion, and the Fool. Queen of Wands, friendship, dating, fun. For my feminines, some of you are really moving on. Oh my God, you're really moving on. You're accepting an ending here. I think that some of you are having a real rebirth. It's been very slow, very subtle, very powerful. I think you've gotten in touch with the deeper aspects of yourself. I also think that you've psychoanalyzed something long enough. You're accepting death, endings, and transformation. You're also accepting consequences for any choices you've made up until now. Fair is fair. You will sign contracts. You will bring balance into your life. You will move forward. Travel, relocation, potentially. The GPS of your soul is really turned on. And I think you know exactly where you're going with the Fool. I'm like, this looks like a pretty calculated, carefully planned out leap of faith moment. You guys are definitely moving towards something new. And it's all kicking off in the end of Aries season here. You're just going to have to take a leap of faith. And when you do this, you're going to leave quite a bit behind. You're going to serve a lot of justice. I think you're going to bring balance and karmic justice into your life. And you will move forward and overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges. It's definitely leading to a new beginning. Definitely a new beginning of some kind. There may be some kind of a legal action that takes place with Justice and the Ace of Pentacles. It could be like a license, a passport, a change in citizenship even for some of you. For a lot of you, it's a new career path. It's bringing you into alignment with who you really are. It's turning your pain into power. Let your energetic interest change. Like what you focus on and give a shit about is bringing you into alignment with something more grounded, more spiritual. It's not shallow. It's true spirituality. And it's turning your pain into power. I love this for you. This was so amazing. Thank you, Spirit. All right, Sag, those are your messages for the middle of April. Sorry it took me a while to get to you guys. I hope this resonates and I hope it helps. Link to my website for private readings and to check out Human Design Analysis is down in the description below this video. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Sagittarius. Take care. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.